Hi guys, so I welcome you all to today's lecture under the fast track series for RBI Grade B 2018, which has been brought to you guys by EduTap. Before proceeding forward, let us briefly look at what this series entails for you guys. So in this particular series, we are going to attain a comprehensive coverage of current affairs from the month of May 2018 to 15th August 2018, that is before your examination. And again, in this particular series, we are going to alternatively cover topics of ESI, that is economic and social issues, and finance and management, which will be covered through important problems under multiple choice questions or MCQs. Now, we have been working in this direction for the past few years, and we have been blessed with some of the very amazing results in the past few years. Now in RBI Grade B 2017 results, 124 of our students, they reached the interview stage, and 27 of the students, they made it to the final list. Now apart from the different other courses which we are running, we are offering these courses for RBI Grade B 2018 examination. So these are the different courses which you guys can choose from. So there is a wide range of courses and you can choose according to your requirement. Now in case you need to know more, you have any query, you can always visit our website, which is www.edutap.co.in, or you can drop us a mail at deepak@edutap.co.in, or you can call us at 8146-207-241. In this particular video, we are going to discuss some of the very important current affairs, current news and current events from 30th of May 2018 to 4th of June 2018. So let's start with the first news item, which is appointment of Mr. Pankaj Saran as Deputy National Security Advisor. So recently the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet has appointed senior diplomat Mr. Pankaj Saran as the Deputy National Security Advisor. Now the National Security Advisor is one of the very important posts in the Indian scenario. NSA, or the National Security Advisor, is the Chief Executive of the National Security Council. So this person is the Chief Executive of the National Security Council and is the primary advisor to Prime Minister on national and international security and strategic issues. So this is one of the very important posts with regard to security and strategy related issues. It is this person to whom intelligence agencies such as RAW, that is Research and Analysis Wing, and IB, that is Intelligence Bureau, they report to, rather than directly reporting to the Prime Minister. Now NSA in its function is assisted by Deputy NSA, and this is the same post to which Mr. Pankaj Saran has been appointed now. This post was created in November 1998 by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. So this is about the post of National Security Advisor and the Deputy National Security Advisor and their importance with regard to the Indian security scenario. Now let's move to the next one, which is about launch of PRAAPTI App and Web portal. So a web portal and an app named PRAAPTI, that is Payment Ratification and Analysis in Power Procurement for bringing transparency in invoicing of generators. Now this seems quite a complex name, but the crux of the purpose of this app is very simple. This is an app which has been developed by the Ministry of Power, and this app has been developed in order to capture the different invoices, capture the different bills and payments related data for various long-term PPAs, that are power purchase agreements, from the generators. So this app is going to capture the bills which are there for the long-term power purchase agreements from the power generators. So this app is going to provide the stakeholders in getting the data relating to the outstanding amount of distribution companies against power purchase. So the distribution companies, they purchase the power from the generators, and the bills which are involved in this purchase, they are going to be captured in this particular app. So you can get the information regarding this particular thing with regard to this particular app. So this app is also going to help the users to know the details related to the payments which are being made by the distribution companies to the power generation company and whether they are making timely payments or not. Now this app will also help the consumers to evaluate the financial performance of the discoms. That is, if they are able to make timely payments to the power generators, it means they are financially sound. Otherwise, there may be some financial issues which need to be tackled. Now let's move to the celebration of Statehood Day by Goa. So Goa has celebrated its statehood day on May 30th, 2018, and it was on this day in 1987 that Goa was declared as India's 25th state. Now, before becoming a full-fledged state of India, Goa, along with Daman and Diu, was a union territory for administrative and governance purposes. Now, during this statehood process, Daman and Diu, they were separated from Goa, and they continue to be remained as union territory. However, Goa has emerged as a dynamic and progressive state, and it has shown aggressive levels of development and socio-economic fronts coupled with adequate infrastructure development. So we have to remember that Goa became the 25th state of India in May 1987. Now let's move to the next one. This is about a direction which has been issued by Madras High Court to Central Board of Secondary Education that private schools should not prescribe non-NCERT textbooks. So this is the direction which has been issued to CBSE. The High Court seeks to ensure that the private schools affiliated to CBSE follow only NCERT textbooks and not those of private publishers. So this was an order which was based on a writ petition which was filed by an advocate, and the private schools were accused of dumping too many subjects and books on children. So to lighten the burden of the children, the Madras High Court has said that the children should only refer NCERT books and the private schools should not pose much pressure on the children. Also, noted justice of this court, he noted that the burden on every young children should not be much, and ordered that no school in the country, irrespective of the educational board, prescribe homework for children in classes 1st and 2nd. So this is to lighten the mood of the students, lighten the burden on the students, so that they can focus on more constructive development of their personality and overall well-being. So now let's move to the next one, which is about a Kerala cartoonist who has recently won an international award. So this is the Kerala cartoonist, that is Mr. Thomas Anthony. He has won an international award in the best caricature category. So this one is related to cartooning category. Now Mr. Anthony is currently working as an executive artist with the Malayalam Daily, and he is among the 9 winners at the 13th edition of World Press Cartoon Award. So this is the conference which is associated with this particular award, that is World Press Cartoon Awards, and this is instituted by an organization which is based in Lisbon, Portugal. So this is very important information, that this World Press Cartoon Awards are organized by an institution based in Lisbon, Portugal. Now these awards are given to the best works which were published in 2017, and they may be published in newspapers or they may be published in magazines around the world. So Mr. Anthony was the only cartoonist who was selected for the prize from Asia. So this is another important distinction with regard to this prize. Now let's move to the celebration of 4th International Yoga Day, for which the main event was held in Dehradun. So the Union Ministry of Ayush, that is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, has recently celebrated the main event of 4th International Yoga Day celebrations on 21st June 2018 at Dehradun in Uttarakhand state of India. So this day, International Day of Yoga, is observed every year on 21st of June, and the objective of this observance is to spread the awareness regarding the importance of yoga, importance that this practice of yoga has on the health and the entire lives of the people. Now the word yoga, this word is derived from a Sanskrit root, and this means to unite or to join. The International Day of Yoga 2018, the theme for this was Yoga for Peace. So we are promoting yoga for peaceful development, yoga for internal peace as well as external peace across the world. International Day of Yoga is also known as World Yoga Day, and for the first time it was celebrated on 21st of June 2015, and this was the 4th edition of celebration of International Yoga Day. Now let's move to the next mission, Raftar, which is a mission of Ministry of Railways. So Ministry of Railways has recently conducted one-day workshop on Mission Raftar, and this is aimed at raising the average speed of freight trains, that is the goods train, and coaching trains in New Delhi. So this workshop was organized, and the Ministry of Railways organized this workshop on the theme Mission Raftar to raise the average speed of trains in the country. So this mission, it targets the doubling of the average speed of freight trains and increasing the average speed of all non-suburban passenger trains by 25 km per hour in the next 5 years. So the crux of the discussion is that we have to increase the speed of trains, and for this particular purpose, this mission Raftar has been launched by the Ministry of Railways. So this mission was launched as a part of the strategy of Indian Railways to keep pace with the growing competition from the other modes of transport, which are roadways and airways. Now under this particular mission, we are focusing on removing all the major constraints which are restricting the increase in the speed of the railways, and for this purpose we are adopting a multi-pronged strategy to remove the various existing impediments. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the launch of a new version of user interface for IRCTC. So the Ministry of Railways has recently launched a new version of user interface for its online travel portal, that is irctc.co.in. So for this particular portal, Railways has recently launched a new version of user interface. Now this particular version, it is more user friendly in the sense that it is going to enable easier navigation and a smooth transition of bookings and cancellation. Now the portal's updated features, they include a waitlist prediction, and they help the users to know the probability of a wait listed or RAC ticket getting confirmed. So there is this additional feature which is in terms of waitlist prediction, and also through the next generation e-ticketing, that is NGET, the new online ticket booking system of Railways, it aims to provide an easy and fast way of booking rail tickets by automating the journey planning and purchase of rail tickets. So this particular system, we have to remember that this one is related to the new online ticket booking system of the Indian Railways. Now there is another very important fact that currently e-ticketing constitutes about 2/3 of the total reserved tickets of Indian Railways. So now the people are increasingly moved towards e-ticketing rather than going to the station and manually buying the tickets. Next one is about the renaming of the US Pacific Command as Indo-Pacific Command. So United States has recently renamed the US Pacific Command to US Indo-Pacific Command, recognizing the increasing connectivity and importance of the Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. So henceforth, the US Pacific Command, which was formed after the Second World War, it will be known as US Indo-Pacific Command. So this Indo word has now been added, and this points to the growing importance of the Indian Ocean in US strategic thinking, and also the India's growing role in providing regional security. So we have to remember that US Pacific Command has recently become US Indo-Pacific Command. Now let's move to the next one, which is about Andhra Pradesh notifying the new state symbols post split and formation of Telangana. So now we are having some new state symbols for Andhra Pradesh, and let us quickly look at all these symbols. So now the state bird of Andhra Pradesh, it is rose-ringed parakeet and is locally known as Rama Chiluka. State tree is neem and it is locally known as Vepa Chetu. State animal is black buck and it is locally known as Krishna Jinka. The state flower is jasmine and its adoption is going to promote jasmine and commercial growth of this particular flower in Guntur, Kurnool and other important districts of the state of Andhra Pradesh. Now let us also quickly look at the state symbols of Telangana. Here the state bird is Indian ruler or Palapita. It is also the state bird of Odisha and Karnataka. State tree is Jami Chetu. State animal is Jinka or spotted deer. And state flower is Tangidi Puvu, which is widely used in the state's famous Bathaukama festival. So these are about the new state symbols with regard to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now next one is about the world's first 3D printed human corneas. So recently scientists from Newcastle University in UK, they have created the world's first 3D printed human corneas. So these are the 3D printed corneas, and they have this 3D printed thin protective film over the eye, and this is expected to solve the problem of shortage of available eye donors, and it is going to help millions of blind people gain sight again. So those people who are experiencing problems with the cornea, they can get this particular 3D printed cornea, and they can now get their eyesight again. So the 3D printed human corneas, they were produced using the bio ink solution, which consisted of healthy corneal stem mixed with the alginate and collagen. So this was formed using the bio ink solution. Now if we look at the functions of the cornea, cornea is the outermost layer of the human eye, and its key function is to focus vision. Now it also helps in protecting the eyes against harmful dirt and bacteria from outside. Now let's move to the next one, which is about a successful test firing of the upgraded Pinaka rocket. So DRDO, that is a Defense Research and Development Organization, it has recently successfully test fired upgraded guided version of Pinaka rocket from Proof and Experiment Establishment at Chandipur in Odisha. So this is the Pinaka rocket missile, and this has been recently test fired in the upgraded version by DRDO. So this guided version is Pinaka rocket, which is Pinaka Mark II, and this has evolved from the earlier version of unguided Pinaka 1. So now this is the guided and upgraded version of Pinaka rocket, that is Pinaka Mark II. Now this upgraded Pinaka Mark II has been fitted with a navigation guidance and control kit, which has been developed by Research Center in Imarat. Now this conversion has helped to enhance the range of Pinaka to more than 70 km. Earlier its range was around 40 km, and now its accuracy has also improved to 50 meters from earlier 500 meters. So this conversion has helped in increasing the range of Pinaka to more than 70 km. Now this Pinaka rocket, it is jointly developed by Pune-based Armament Research and Development Establishment, Defense Research and Development Laboratory, Hyderabad, and Research Center, Imarat. So it is a joint product, it has been jointly developed, and these are the three institutions which are involved in its joint development. This is fired using a multi-barrel rocket launcher, and this can launch 12 rockets within 44 seconds. So this is the power of this particular rocket, this is the precision of this particular rocket, and now we have upgraded this rocket, which is expected to boost the Indian Army's competence. Now let's move to the next one, which is about Facebook partnering to launch digital literacy program. So Facebook has decided to partner with the National Commission for Women in order to launch a digital literacy program in order to train women on safe use of internet as well as social media. So this is a digital literacy program which is going to be organized by Facebook, and under this particular program, the Facebook is going to provide awareness training for around 60,000 women in universities across the major cities over a 1-year period. So there will be interactive training sessions which are going to be organized, and the focus will be on providing training with regard to safe and responsible use of internet, social media, and email. Now about the National Commission for Women, this is the statutory body of the Government of India which was established in January 1992 under the National Commission for Women Act. Now this particular commission, it is responsible for advising the government on different policy matters which affect women, and the commission also regularly publishes a newsletter called Rashtra Mahila in both Hindi as well as English languages. So the next one is about the Malabar exercise 2018. Now this is a trilateral naval exercise between India, Japan, and United States, and this was recently held off the coast of Guam in Philippines. Now this is the 22nd edition of this particular naval exercise, that is Malabar. Now Malabar exercise, it started in 1992 as a Indo-US bilateral naval war drill exercise. So initially only India and US, they were partners of this particular war drill, and it started way back in 1992, and since then it is being conducted annually. Japan formally joined this exercise as a permanent participant in 2015, and thus this became a trilateral exercise. The The primary aim of conducting this particular exercise is to promote interoperability among the navies of India, Japan and US, and to deepen the defense relations between these three countries. In 2007, we also saw participation of Australia and Singapore. Now, all the participating nations in the exercise have clarified earlier that Malabar series is not aimed at any specific country, and it is a general exercise aimed to promote general defense cooperation between the three countries, between the navies of three countries. Now let's move to the agreement between Cochin Shipyard and the Kerala government with regard to building of 3 marine ambulances. So government of Kerala has recently signed an agreement with Cochin Shipyard Limited in order to construct 3 marine ambulance boats for fisheries department. So this vessel is going to be designed by Cochin Shipyard Limited at its in-house design department, and this vessel will be able to complement the 2 patients and will have a total crew capacity of 7 including the paramedical staff. So this is about the strength of this particular vessel, and the boats are also going to have various paramedical facilities like examination and nursing room, medical beds, mortuary, freezer, refrigerator and medical lockers. So different facilities are going to be made available in the 3 marine ambulances which are going to be built by Cochin Shipyard as per the recent agreement with Kerala government. Now, if we briefly look at the fisheries sector, India globally ranks 2nd in the fisheries and 2nd in the aquaculture according to National Fisheries Development Board. Now let's move to RIMPAC 2018, which is the Rim of the Pacific Maritime Exercise. Now 26 countries including India will be participating in this particular exercise. So the world's largest international maritime warfare exercise, that is RIMPAC 2018, that is Rim of the Pacific, it is going to witness the participation of 26 countries including India. Now this exercise will be held from 27th June to 2nd of August 2018, and it is going to be held in and around Hawaiian Islands and Southern California. The theme of this year's exercise is Capable Adaptive Partners, and 4 countries, Brazil, Israel, Sri Lanka and Vietnam, they are going to participate for the first time in this Rim of the Pacific exercise. So we have to remember that this RIMPAC, it is a maritime exercise, and this is the world's largest international maritime warfare exercise which is held biennially, and it is hosted and administered by United States Navy's Pacific Fleet. Now let's move to the launch of 3 Indian mobile payment apps by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Singapore. So Prime Minister has recently launched 3 Indian mobile payment applications which included Bheem, RuPay and UPI enabled remittance app of SBI in Singapore, aimed at internationalization of the country's digital payment platform. So our digital payment platforms have now crossed the domestic borders, and now they are gaining foothold in the international market, and recently this has been witnessed in the country Singapore. Now Bheem, or the Bharat Interface for Money, it is a digital payment solution app which is based on the UPI, which is from the National Payment Corporation of India, which is the umbrella organization for all retail payment systems in India. So this is the Bheem, and next is the RuPay. RuPay is an Indian domestic card scheme which has been conceived and launched by the National Payment Corporation of India. So this one is concerned with the domestic debit cards, which was conceived and launched by the NPCI, or the National Payment Corporation of India. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the core industries registering 4.7% growth in April 2018. So the combined index of industrial production of 8 core industries, it stood 4.7% higher in April this year. Now if we look at the core industries in the country, these core industries are those industries which are the main or key industries of any economy including India. Now in India we have identified 8 core sectors, and they comprise coal, crude, natural gas, petroleum, refinery products, fertilizer, steel, cement and electricity. So these are the 8 core sectors, part of the core industries in the country. Now these 8 infrastructure sectors, they constitute around 40.27% of the total index of industrial production. So quite a major handsome portion of the index of industrial production is composed of the 8 core sectors. Now if you look at the revised weight of these core sectors in IIP, Petroleum refinery production, it has the highest weight of around 28.04%, and this is followed by electricity, steel, coal, crude, natural gas, cement and fertilizer production, which is at the bottom with 2.63% proportion. Now let's move to the recent loan agreement which has been signed between Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana and World Bank. So India has recently signed a $500 million or rupees 3,371 crore loan pact with World Bank in order to provide additional funding for Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana rural road projects. So the World Bank is going to support the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana project. Now this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana project, it was launched by the Ministry of Rural Development in 2000, and its objective is to provide all-weather road connectivity to the unconnected habitations in the country. Now this is a centrally sponsored scheme, and it envisages connecting all the eligible unconnected habitations which are having a population of more than 500 people in plain areas, more than 250 in hilly areas, desert areas, and around 82 selected tribal and backward districts under integrated action plan. So these are the eligibility criteria for which we are going to develop all weather connectivity roads under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Now let's move on to the next one, which is about the India's first advanced forensic lab for women cases. So recently the foundation has been laid for the India's advanced forensic laboratory in Chandigarh, which is to be dedicated for crimes related to women in order to promote a timely delivery of justice in these crime related cases. So we have to remember this one, that India's first advanced forensic laboratory is going to be set up in Chandigarh. So foundation stone has been laid for this particular advanced forensic laboratory in Chandigarh, and this is going to be India's first advanced forensic laboratory dedicated for crimes related to women in order to promote timely delivery of justice. And 5 more advanced forensic labs are expected to come up, and they are going to come up in the Mumbai, Chennai, Guwahati, Pune and Bhopal. So these are the cities in which 5 more advanced forensic labs are expected to come up in the next 3 months, and they are going to bring the total minimum capacity of the labs to 50,000 cases. Now in Sakhi Suraksha Advanced DNA Forensic Laboratory, as they are going to be called, 4 units are to be established to address the different scenarios, different cases are related to women. So you have to remember this one, that this first advanced forensic lab is coming up in Chandigarh, and 5 more are expected to soon come in Mumbai, Chennai, Guwahati, Pune and Bhopal. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the development of an online analytical tool to monitor foreign contributions under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. So the Union Ministry of Home Affairs has recently launched an online analytical tool in order to facilitate closer monitoring of the flow and utilization of foreign contributions by various organizations which have been registered, or they have been permitted to indulge in the foreign contributions, to get the foreign contributions under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act of 2000. So with regard to Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, we have developed an online analytical portal. This is the crux of this discussion. Now this web-based tool is going to enable the decision makers in various departments of the government in order to scrutinize the source of foreign funds and their actual use in India. Now this particular tool, it is going to give the capacity to take data-driven and evidence-based decisions regarding the compliance of the provisions of the FCRA Act 2000. Now this FCRA is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, and it is a consolidating act which talks about the scope with regard to acceptance and utilization of foreign contribution or foreign hospitality by certain individuals or associations or companies. So we have to remember that the Ministry of Home Affairs is this administrative authority of this Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, and for this purpose it has developed this online analytical tool. Now let's move to the development of new forecast model by IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department. So Ministry of Earth Sciences, of which IMD is a part, it has launched the Ensemble Prediction System or EPS for generating operational 10 days probabilistic forecasts of weather. So we have to remember that this Ensemble Prediction System, it is related to forecasting of weather, and it has been recently launched by Indian Meteorological Department. Now this particular new system, that is EPS, has been touted as the best available model after such system available, which is available in Europe. This new system has been developed by 3 bodies under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and they include the Indian Meteorological Department, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, and Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. So these are the 3 institutions which are concerned with development of this forecast model. And under this particular new system, the area of spatial resolution, which is currently 23 km grid scale, it is going to come down to 12 kilometers. So now we are going to have better resolution imagery with this ensemble prediction system. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the formation of Cauvery Management Authority by the central government. So the center has recently constituted this Cauvery Water Management Authority in order to address the disputes which arise over the sharing of this river Cauvery's water among the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Pondicherry. So these are the 4 states and UTs which are associated with the Cauvery Water Management dispute, and for this purpose Cauvery Water Management Authority has been constituted. Now this newly constituted authority has been created as per the Cauvery Management Scheme, which was earlier framed by the center and it was approved by the Supreme Court. And this authority is going to have a chairman, a secretary and 8 other members. The main mandate of this authority is going to promote implementation and compliance of the Supreme Court's order in relation to storage, apportionment, regulation and control of the water of river Cauvery. Along with the Cauvery Management Authority, the government has also established Cauvery Water Regulation Committee, and this committee shall give effect to the decision of Cauvery Water Disputes Tribunal as modified by the Supreme Court order. So we have to remember that this Cauvery Management Authority is going to help in resolving the dispute over sharing of the river Cauvery between the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Pondicherry. This is the very important information. Next one is about an Indian singer, Zubeen Garg, being honored with a PETA award. So Indian singer Zubeen Garg is going to be honored with the Hero to Animals award from PETA India, that is People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, and this award is being given to him for his recent appeal to end animal sacrifice at Kamakhya temple in the state of Assam. Next one is about the first National Sports University bill, which has recently been accorded the assent of the President, and this first National Sports University is going to come up in the state of Manipur. This is very important. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the starting of Financial Literacy Week. So Reserve Bank of India has recently launched Financial Literacy Week from 4th of June to 8th of June 2018, and this is going to be celebrated across the country with consumer protection and as its main theme. So the main theme is going to be consumer protection. So this event is going to focus on creating awareness among the customers of different banks about different financial products and banking services, and the focus will be on promoting good financial practices and adoption of digital applications for financial planning and banking. So RBI had introduced Financial Literacy Week first in 2016 in order to create large scale awareness on key topics, and first time observed for the week in June 2017 as Financial Literacy Week across the country. So this was introduced in 2016 and it was for the first time celebrated all over the week in 2017, and now also in 2018 this is going to be celebrated, and the focus will be on educating the customers about safe digital banking practices. So we can be asked a question about which of the following organizations has launched recently this Financial Literacy Week. So we have to remember that the RBI or Reserve Bank of India is concerned with the starting of Financial Literacy Week. Now let's move to the next one, which is about an ASSOCHAM-NEC study which is based on India's e-waste generation. So a recent ASSOCHAM study on electricals and electronics manufacturing in India has revealed that India is able to recycle only 5% of its e-waste. So India is recycling only 5% of its e-waste, and India is one of the biggest contributors of e-waste in the world. So this 5% is very low. We are only able to recycle 5% of our e-waste, and we have to focus on increasing this particular amount or proportion. Now e-waste or electronic waste, it refers to the electronic equipments which are being thrown away. So this includes the computers which are discarded, the computer monitors discarded, motherboards discarded, CRT televisions discarded, mobile phones, chargers, ACs and refrigerators being discarded. So these all come under the category of e-waste. According to this recent study, India generates around 2 million tons per annum of e-waste, and of which 12% of the e-waste comes from the telecom equipments alone. So telecom equipments alone are one of the largest contributors of this e-waste in India, and 12% of the total e-waste, it comes from the telecom equipments. Apart from India, the top e-waste generation countries, they are China, US, Japan and Germany. And if you look at the Indian states, the largest quantity of e-waste is generated by Maharashtra, and this is followed by Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. So this is about a recent study with regard to e-waste generation in India. So we have to remember the different facts with regard to e-waste generation in India. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the first shipment of cheapest LNG from Gazprom Russia. So recently India has received its first cheapest LNG consignment from a long-term deal, as Russia began shipping natural gas at a delivered price of close to $7 per million British thermal units. So at current oil prices, the Russian rate is $1.5 per unit, lower than the price at which Qatar, which is India's oldest supplier, delivering this liquefied natural gas or LNG. Russian supplies are also cheaper by $1 to 1.5 per unit than the LNG which is sourced from Australia and US. So Russian LNG or Russian liquefied natural gas is cheaper. So, and India has signed a long-term deal with Russia to get the cheapest LNG from Russia. Now let us briefly look at the India's natural gas production and import scenario. So this is the scenario with regard to production in recent years. So you can see the production, it has remained more or less constant at this particular level, and it was higher in 2011-12 and it witnessed decline, and over the past 4 to 5 years this is more or less stable at this particular level. Now according to official data, India's natural gas production is in 2017 it was 32.64 billion cubic meter, and out of which 22.01 billion cubic meter it is offshore production, while 10.63% it is onshore production. At present, India is the 4th largest importer of LNG, and this natural gas is one of the key inputs for power generation and different manufacturing industries with regard to fertilizer and steel companies in India. The current government policy, it is also pushing towards a gas-based economy by raising the share of environmentally friendly fuel in the energy basket to 15% from the current 6.2%. So this is the scenario with regard to the natural production in India. The total production is around 32.64 billion units, and India is the 4th largest producer of LNG in the world. So this is some of the important information which we must remember. So guys, this is all about the discussion on some of the very important current affairs from the 30th of May 2018 to 4th of June 2018. Thank you guys. If you found this video useful, please like the same and share it with your friends. And for more similar videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thank you.